morning and welcome to the program Eyes on Corruption. My name is Jay Hizifa Okale, bringing you live the program Eyes on Corruption. And today's topic is Nigerians be warned, vote wisely, or be doomed for another 8 years. This is a program that comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, reaching you from multiple social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, and of course, our website, gcsdn.org. We're coming to you live. Stand by and watch the program.
Eyes on Corruption, Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria, GCSDN presents Eyes on Corruption, a weekly x-ray of social and political issues. Eyes on Corruption, an expose on issues that bother on corruption-related practices in Nigeria. Eyes on Corruption, informative, educative, and enlightening. Eyes on Corruption, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Join us on our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and our website, gcsdn.org. Host, J. Ehizefua Ohali.
Hello, fellow compatriots, Nigerians with a passion to change the narrative of the unfortunate country that has been caused on us by bad leadership. I am coming to you today with the program Eyes on Corruption, and the topic is vote wisely or be doomed for another 8 years. Nigerians be warned. Nigeria has never had it this bad in terms of leadership. All along, right from inception of the country at independence, we have been trying to solve the problem of leadership so as to have the kind of leaders that are answerable to the people, that are accountable to the people, that have the passion to serve the people rather than being served. For this and all the times past, we have had military juntas and their cronies lording it over our nation using the brute force, coercion, and all kinds of intimidation to rule the people. Even under the democratic regime, we have had it so bad that we tend to wonder what kind of governance is best for our country. People are tempted to want to wish for the bad days of the military because of the affront at which the politicians are operating in our nation. Rather than serving the people, they want to be served. They want to intimidate the people. This year, 2022, has witnessed a very new turn of events that Nigerians have taken it upon themselves to actually change the social narratives so as to attempt to bequeath a better nation to our children and our children's children. To these efforts, Nigerians with the passion to change the status quo have gathered and strategized together and are taking the bull by the horn to ensure that come 2023, the nation's leadership will be in the hands of leaders that can be trusted, people with pedigree, people with character, people with competence, people with genuineness of purpose to serve the people. And on that basis, people have evolved to strategize and galvanize themselves to support a particular person in the person of Peter Gregory Obi as the only option amongst the candidates vying for presidential position of Nigeria come 2023. Among the top contenders in this race, Nigerians have decided, as outlined in various opinion polls, that PETER OBI is the man that can be trusted amongst the options available to Nigerians. On that note, I am urging all Nigerians to galvanize their efforts towards supporting this cause and ensure that we do not make another mistake like we made in 2015 that culminated in this change that we have experienced, that we have never had it so bad. The price of liter of petrol has quadrupled. The price of a bag of rice, essential food commodities, have gone beyond the roof. There is job opportunities has actually vanished from the nation, and the opportunities to even thrive on one's own through self-efforts have actually not been encouraged, rather have been stifled by the economic policies that hold no water. To this end, Nigerians and concerned citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Nigerians both at home and in the diaspora, are urging every Nigerian to go and collect their personal voters card and ensure that they make a resounding statement to change the narrative come February 25, 2023. Nigerians cannot continue to wallow in this abject poverty. They cannot continue to be second class citizens in their own country, and they cannot continue to postpone and mortgage the future of their children and their children's children in the hands of wicked, heartless, and disgruntled politicians who mean no well for others but only for themselves, their families, and their cronies. They are out in all ways and means to hold on to the status quo without any meaningful progress in the lives of the ordinary citizens. And for that reason, the election of 2023 is a contest between the pauperized Nigerian masses and the few cabals that have held on to the jugular vein of the nation's economy. For this reason, Nigerians must be warned and endeavor to vote wisely or be doomed for another 8 years. We cannot overemphasize this fact because Nigeria cannot continue to be doing things in the old ways and expect a better result. That is not a possibility. You must determine right now and decide to change the narrative. That is the only way the situation can be changed. Imagine a country where the president has been out of the country for so long that you don't even know. People have lost count of what who is actually in the helm of affairs of the nation. Buhari spent 225 days on medical trips and visits 40 countries, according to the Punch newspaper of 4th of December 2022. That is not acceptable. His medical trips and the cost of such medical trips is a drain on the nation's economy. And this is a government that had actually spent 6.4 billion on Aso Rock Clinic alone. Or in 6 years, this 6.4 billion would have been able to build a state-of-the-art medical facility in Nigeria where people will be happy to utilize. And as a resource for their health needs, if we have spent this on state of the art health facility in Nigeria. People, the medical tourism to the outside world will have reduced to the barest minimum. And not this is just on Asoro Clinic alone. There are other drain pipes in the nation that we cannot even begin to phantom out here. If we have to begin to enumerate all the drain pipes in our nation's economy that is occasioned by corruption, corrupt practices by the players, key players in government. We're not talking of the NNPCs, fraud and all kinds of drains on the NNPC. We're not talking of the CBN's atrocities, where we're not talking of all the governors in the states and the ostentatious display of wealth, that are not accounted for, security votes, and all that. If we begin to analyze all these amounts, we will find out that we are there are so many drain pipes that need to be plugged in our nation for our nation to really grow, for such resources to be channeled properly to the use and benefit of the teeming population that have been pauperized by the actions of these nefarious intended key players in government. Please, fellow Nigerians, we must stand shoulder to shoulder to defend our common heritage, to defend our common wealth, and to defend that binds us together. And that is as the pauperized masses of the nation. The contest in 2023 is between the thieves and the masses. The masses must galvanize resources together. The masses must support one another to ensure that come 2023, people of pedigree, people of character, people with competence, expertise, and the necessary skills to take the nation to a higher ground are voted into power. We must shun money bags that have stolen our Commonwealth dry and are using such to intimidate the people, to suppress the electorate, and to sponsor talks, to do their bids, all in the bid to grab power at all costs and still do whatever they like with impunity. We must elect people who are ready to be accountable to the people who present themselves for scrutiny, people who can accept criticisms and learn from such criticisms and turn such criticism to positivity. People who have no appetite for criticisms must not be elected to power. People who have no conscience, who are too proud and feel they are too important and cannot appear before the public to explain themselves or to sell their ideas to the people must not be shown the way to power. Nigerians must not be shortchanged again this time around. Do not sacrifice the future of your kids and that of the unborn children for paltry sums of money that can be thrown at you by these evil politicians. We must resist the temptation and the urge to accept or do their bids. You can collect the money from them, but vote your conscience, vote wisely, and vote who you think is going to do the needs, to meet your needs by and the needs of the general public, not people who are going to enrich themselves and their cronies and give the plum jobs to their kids and kings, while those who do not have access to those in power will be in the same situation or even worse situations than they have been. This is a country of over 200 million people. There is might in strength, there is might in number, there is strength in numbers. We are large and are so it is that such numbers are assets in themselves. So we must not allow people to talk down on us. The electorates, the citizens, the office of the citizen is the highest office of the land. Anybody that cannot subject themselves to the citizens' questioning or interrogation cannot be a leader in our nation, Nigeria. A new Nigeria needs to be born from the ashes and crumbs of the destruction caused by the evil governments of the past, by the evil people who have played key roles in destroying the nation this far. Nigerians must be wiser this time around. There is no time for mediocrity. There's no time for passivity. Take the bulls by the horn, you get what you deserve. If you deserve what is obtainable in other climes, good government, as easy access to social facilities, easy access to health facilities and services, easy access to microfinance without knowing some key political figures, easy access to opportunities without being a stooge to the government in power or their cronies. These are what we want: equal rights and justice for all, equality before the law, no matter who, how highly placed you are in the society. We must all shun mediocrity in our land. Nigeria is greater than any individual. We must galvanize resources. We must strategize together to support a new Nigeria that is to be born. Come one, come all, and let's invest in this new Nigeria that is to come. Shun thuggery, shun political fights by being the hitman of the politicians to go and wreak havoc to someone else. Politics must not be a do or die affair. It has to be about issues and values and principles. We must not condescend low to the extent of allowing politicians to use us as stooges, as dogs, as their hitmen. You can imagine, why can't they use their kids to be the hitman, but they pay you, the poor masses, to go and do wreak some havoc somewhere. And when the long arm of the law catches up with you, you are abandoned at the last stage because they cannot afford to be exposed. This is what we want you all to know, and Nigeria must be great again. To this effect, let's all stand tall and defend our nation. Go and get your PVC. Go.
Nigeria youth are not the one again. Oh. 2023 not far from now. Oh. You when they get mind to the team ballot bus or they give you money to team ballot bus, any ballot bus where you thief for this time, now another suffer for another 4 years to 8 years. Oh, na it be 210. Get sense, oh, Nigeria youth. Get sense. 1,000 you don set the generation of your children. Me and say Yagbesha don dey warn again. Oh, go get your PVC. Oh. Nigeria youth, get sense. Allow God use you.
Thank you very much. That was a beautiful one. You are warned. Vote wisely or be doomed for another 8 years. That is the topic for today. Nigerians, if you collect 5,000, 10,000, a bag of rice or a box of wrappers, you will suffer the consequences if you go and vote the wrong person into power. Anybody that woes you with gifts just for the purpose of buying your vote is a criminal and must not be allowed to test the seat of power, must not be voted into power. Anybody that wants to coerce you into voting for them by intimidation, by undue influence of any sort, report such to the authorities and vote wisely. Vote your conscience. Vote who you feel can be trusted. Don't vote criminals that have no plans for you. Don't vote people who will turn Aso Rock to another retirement home, jetting out at every headache to see their doctors overseas when they have refused to fix the health sector in our nation, when they have refused to provide jobs for people, only providing jobs for their thugs whom they have used, making them raising them to the level of celebrities by all kinds of things, putting them in charge of very sensitive positions because they have used them as dogs and they only benefit from these actions. Nigerians who are pauperized continue to be poor, continue to be thrown into abject poverty. Over 133 million people have been pushed into abject poverty, according to recent reports from Transparency International and all other bodies that are monitoring systems in the world. Nigeria has slid back down the poverty ladder of the Community of Nations. This is not acceptable. We must change the narrative. PETER OBI is the only person that we can trust amongst the politicians who have been presented to us as political candidates. Nigerians must be warned this time around. Whatever you get get in is what you get out. Garbage in, garbage out. So says the IT term. If you make the mistake of voting somebody that does not care for you, somebody that will amass wealth for himself, his family, and cronies at the expense of the nation, somebody that will not be accountable to you, that cannot, in all sense of honesty, declare to you what is needed or respond to questions about accountability, somebody whose past is shady, somebody whose origin is shady, somebody whose education, qualifications, and past history is shrouded in controversy. Is that and he's not ready to clear these controversies? Is that the person we want to vote in? Somebody who has sold the national facilities, national infrastructures, national corporations to themselves and their cronies for a piece for a paltry sum. Is that who we are going to elect? Some people who are tribalistic and ethnocentric in their thinking. Is that who we are going to elect? We must elect people we can trust, people who are humble and will be humble servants of the nation rather than being the lords of the nation, are such that we should be electing come 2023 February. We have less than 2 months to the election, and I urge you all to do your bid, vote wisely, vote the only person we can trust among the group, the contestants, and apart from Sowore, who is also a fighter and a passionate person to rule that country. But let us at this time vote PETER OBI. Let us at this time vote PETER OBI. Sowore is our man, but at this time we are urging everyone to vote PETER OBI, as that is the consensus candidate that has been, you know, greatly supported far and wide by Nigerians and those in the diaspora, as the only person that can be trusted, that has the pedigree to do what is needed in the nation now, to block all the loopholes, to think profitably for the betterment of our nation, and to, as a matter of fact, stop the drain pipes, in the treasury of our nation. This is why we are urging everyone to vote wisely or be doomed for another 8 years. Nigerians must be won so that when the time comes, we our conscience would have been cleared that yes, we did our best to sensitize the people. We did our best to extray these individuals, and we left the choice for Nigerians to make. This is our cry. Nigerians must be wise. Vote wisely to avert the imminent doom for another 8 years. Please. And if we vote wisely, a new lease of life will begin. A situation where people are kidnapped in their own land without trace will be averted. A situation where people are abducted and taken to the bush and raped for as long as they can, and the government in power appears helpless, will be a thing of the past. A situation where the road in our hospitals, schools, and infrastructure facilities are functional and beneficial to all and sundry will be the order of the day. A situation where schools will function optimally and are appropriately and adequately funded to meet the goals and objectives of the institutions will be the order of the day. A situation where easy access to health facilities, health services, both in the primary, secondary, and tertiary level, will be the order of the day. A situation where the government and their representatives, both local, state, and national levels, will be responsible and responsive to the needs of the people will be the order of the day. A situation where elected representatives and appointed officers are accountable to the people will be, and their constituencies will be the order of the day. This is our cry. We must achieve this if we all determined to do the needful come 2023. Thank you once again. This is your regular host, J. Hizefa Okale, on the program Eyes on Corruption, the program that comes to you every Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. And we are dealing on the topic vote wisely or be doomed for another 8 years. Nigerians, be warned. Nigerians, be warned so that police brutality of this nature will not befall us.
That identifies me as a journalist has been taken. One part of my eye is closed and I can't see very well because of I was hit here. I was punched, I was hit here. I was hit here.
I saw horror. Wallahi tallahi idan abu yana kama da yawmal qiyama. Allah ina gana gan shi when I was in captivity. I saw that. I saw horror.
I get down.
Vote wisely so that such incidents will be a thing of the past. Youth will be meaningfully engaged, and the society will be better off for all and sundry. And every Nigerian will smile and heave a sigh of relief. This is our wish. And this is what we want for our nation. Until I come your way again next Thursday, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, it's peace and love. Thank you and God bless.